as always, for entertainment purposes only. Have you heard that we will be getting a second moon for a little while? Actually, it should be happening by the end of this month. It's been confirmed by NASA.
Beginning late September, Earth will briefly gain a rare new companion, a second moon. But this one won't be staying long. A small asteroid named 2024 PT5, measuring just 33 feet across, will be pulled into Earth's gravity. For 57 days, this mini-moon will orbit our planet before continuing its journey through space. Though it won't be visible to the naked eye, scientists are excited about this temporary visitor. Unlike our permanent moon, 2024 PT5 will trace a unique path around Earth, never completing a full orbit before breaking away. Astronomers first detected this asteroid in August, using specialized equipment designed to monitor objects near Earth. 2024 PT5 hails from the Arjuna asteroid belt, a group of space rocks that follow orbits similar to Earth's. While its stay is brief, these mini-moons offer scientists a glimpse into the vast number of objects constantly passing near our planet.
If you would have told me even 2 years ago that we would have 2 moons visible in our sky, I would have said bullshit. But I guess we are living in the Matrix now. The thing that worries me about this situation is the tides, the ocean tides. We all know that the moon we have now controls our ocean tides. So what would a second one do? Would it raise the oceans? And don't you think it's a little strange that State Farm and other insurance companies pulled out their services from coastal areas recently? I know out west they said it was wildfires, but there's a huge fault line out there too.
Millions are still talking about the rare 4.8 magnitude earthquake near New York City.
Did you know that Southern California just issued a state of emergency because of earthquakes and land movement? Rancho Palos Verdes is sinking. I reported on this months ago, where we showed that there was like 15.
If you live in California, this video's for you. See that red line right there? That's the San Andreas Fault. The San Andreas Fault is so important to us because it is California. It's a 1,300 kilometer long fault that runs from the Salton Sea down there all the way to the Cape Mendocino up here. And most importantly, it's what we call a tectonic plate boundary. Now, because it's a tectonic plate boundary, it creates a lot of stress and strain in the state of California, which ultimately creates all this faulting that you see here. Yes, every single red line is an act of fault. Now, I'm telling you this because it's important to understand the history of the San Andreas Fault. And history tells us that, statistically speaking, we should experience a large earthquake in the near future. Now, before some of y'all jump in the comments and say, well, I've been hearing that for 50 years and nothing has happened yet, I just want to remind you that geologic time can't be compared to the average human life. So let's go over the history of the San Andreas Fault. Starting up here in the north, in 1906, there was a massive earthquake magnitude 7.8, known as the Great San Francisco Earthquake. Then on January 9th, 1857, there was the magnitude 7.9 earthquake known as the Fort Tejon Earthquake. Now here's the problem, Southern California. The southern section hasn't actually ruptured or produced a large earthquake in historical times. In fact, the last prehistorical earthquake on the southern section of the San Andreas Fault was 1680 AD, well over 300 years ago. Which is why, statistically speaking, the southern section of the San Andreas Fault has a high probability of producing a large earthquake within the next 30 years. So yeah, the big one is eventually coming. I don't know when, I don't know what time, but I do know that is our job as California residents to be prepared for the next big earthquake. Now, to leave you with an even scarier thought, we always talk about the San Andreas Fault, but look at all these active faults in California.
I have read some reports and I have seen other people's videos from other creators saying that this asteroid that's coming in, that will be our second moon, has actually course corrected itself, meaning it was on one trajectory and then it kind of went, oh, I'm going towards Earth. So that's a little strange.
The elites want to leave the Earth because there's a specific geological event that's possibly pending on this planet. There's been a lot of talk about Nibiru and Planet X coming back, but I don't particularly think that it's the actual Planet X that's going to cause the catastrophe. What I believe is that Planet X does exist, according to a lot of the ancient texts and tablets that I've read, and that possibly it's a brown dwarf star that's orbiting deep outside of the orbit of Pluto. And I also believe that there's actually a planet orbiting it that may be called Nibiru or may be the planet of the ancients. But what I feel is that this brown dwarf star is actually dislodging comets from the Oort cloud and sending them streaming into the inner planets. And this is something that we can't stop. I mean, if you take somebody who's not an expert at throwing darts, if they throw enough of them, eventually they're going to hit the bullseye.
Ancient Sumerian tablets actually state that there were beings from another planet, this planet that was passing nearby at the time, and then like they came down from this planet, they taught man things, and then like before it left our atmosphere, they went back up to their planet and left. Some people are wondering about this moon.
The Anunnaki, well, the term itself means those who came from heaven to earth. And these Anunnaki are beings that came from outside of earth to earth, from many different places, potentially. Just like if you were to travel to Mars, right, and you met a Martian, they say, where you from? You say, I'm an Earthling. You wouldn't say I'm from Tampa. Right? So it's the same thing. It's a generalized term.
Another thing that I keep seeing everywhere is that in 2025, a new religion may emerge.
Aleister Crowley, a very famous occultist who practiced ritual magic, he conducted a ritual that's called the Amalantra working, and he made contact with an alien named Lamb. This alien entity that he drew out was the first gray alien that was ever depicted. This magic ritual, it goes all the way back to the Book of Enoch. There were these fallen angels, they called the Watchers, and the Watchers came and they taught man how to use magic, and he did.
What are your thoughts about this second moon that we're supposed to be seeing in the sky? A lot of people don't care. And then some people are worried, like me, like what could it do to the oceans?